Yeah. What the fuck? Right. Oh, god damn it. Are we stuck in the shadow realm again? I knew I shouldn't have accepted that bottle of coke from that silhouetted, not completely known stranger in that alleyway. This is all your fucking fault. Whatever. Let me make a review. I didn't even have a plan for the next one in the last video. What the hell am I gonna do? All my video games were back there. Oh, what the hell? Probably not all of them. Alright then, I guess today we will be tackling Super Mario Sunshine. This should be fun. Now right out the gate, this is not the best 3D Mario game. It's also not the worst Mario game. There are a lot of really varying, differing opinions on this game. They typically range from, oh my god, Sunshine is the best 3D Mario game ever, to 0 out of 10 worst Mario game to ever exist. And Nintendo should be ashamed of themselves. Just right out the gate. It's really not either of those. So, let's just start with story. So, Mario, Peach, Toadsworth, and for some reason not Luigi, are going on a vacation to Delfino Isle. And while on the flight, while watching the promotional video, Peach notices like a shadowy silhouetted figure. Kind of like the asshole who gave me that bottle of Coke. But anyway, and he kind of resembles Mario. And then when they get to the landing strip, there's freaking weird goop all over the place in the shape of Mario's face. And so Mario runs around and he bumps into one of what I would say is this game's biggest problems, FLUDD. And using FLUDD, he is able to spray water and get rid of all the goop. And then he gets arrested. Mario getting arrested. Wow, there's just something really wrong about that sentence. But yeah, so he ends up in jail and gets sentenced to clean up all the goop. Because apparently it's all over Delfino Isle. Apparently Mario did it all, according to eyewitness reports. And apparently it made things called Shine Sprites leave Delfino Plaza. The Shine Sprites are basically the stars. And so now the island is all shrouded in darkness. So right out the gate, plot is a good bit better than Mario 64's. It's a nice upgrade. I like the idea of Mario going on a vacation. And, I like that it actually kind of establishes why the Shine Sprites are important and why you need them. In Mario 64, to be honest, I never entirely understood why you needed to get the stars. I mean, like, I guess that I get that you needed them to open the doors, but, like, why do the doors only open, because of stars? Why were the stars even missing in the first place? Why were they in these random painting worlds? There was so much about it that wasn't explained. So, yeah, I think they definitely expand on the plot a good bit there. In this game, it's definitely a lot more interesting, a lot more in depth. But yeah, later on, so you end up kind of cleaning up Delfino Plaza a bit. And the silhouetted figure ends up being a villain called Shadow Mario, and he attempts kidnapping Peach, but he actually fails because you stop him. And that's something I like about this game's plot. Peach just doesn't get captured immediately. I don't know, there's actual, story events and cutscenes that happen throughout the game, which makes it feel like the plot has more of a progression. Whereas in Mario games, I never really feel like I'm progressing the game or the story or whatever, just because nothing really changes through it. I clear levels in Mario 64, but I don't really feel like I'm affecting anything or getting closer to my goal, really. You know? It's like watching a season of a TV show. You never really get that satisfying ending until the finale episode. So, yeah, I like the addition of the cutscenes. The voice acting was kind of strange, though, because Mario still isn't really fully voice acted. I don't really mind the idea of the character speaking, but some of them are. The Bowser's just. He's really bad. He sounds like, in the words of Brattlefloss, Cookie Monster's drunk brother. Uh, Aside from that, the three particularly good ones I would say are Peach, Bowser Jr., and FLUDD. Those three all sound pretty much perfect. Mario still doesn't really talk much beyond the woohoos and all that. So, but yeah, the two that I really don't like are Toadsworth because it's just generic old man voice, and Bowser because he just sounds retarded. Like they could have made him sound more beastly or monster-like, but he just sounds ridiculous. But anyway, let's finally get on to gameplay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, one of my biggest problems with this game is the gimmick slash partner of the game, FLUDD. Now, whenever people who praise this game, praise it as the best Mario game, they always praise FLUDD, specifically. They're always like, oh, FLUDD is such a great and unique mechanic, and I'm gonna be honest, I hate FLUDD. The reason being that he just takes over the entire game. The majority of the game is just spent spraying water. And even on the odd platforming challenge, you just end up using the weird water jetpack thing. Yeah, he just takes over the whole game and just spraying water pretty much just replaces platforming. And, whenever you bring this up, people would say, oh, but there are the secret levels where you don't have FLUDD. But, yeah, but, those secret levels still feel like they're designed with FLUDD in mind. All the jumps and segments in the levels, they all feel like stuff that you were meant to. They all feel like jumps where you're meant to be able to use, the, hover module, the jetpack thing. They're, really strangely annoying and hard, and there's just a lot of really awkward jumps. Because they all feel like they're still designed for you to be able to use FLUDD in them. Fun fact, you can, whenever you go back and play the secret missions later, there's a second shine sprite you can get in them with an 8 coin shine. But when you redo the mission, whenever you redo the secret levels, even if you don't activate the 8 coins, you play it with FLUDD. And what a shocker! They are so much they're so much more manageable when you use FLUDD. They're honestly really annoying, and there's some really frustrating and hard to make jumps as Mario without FLUDD. Maybe I just can't detach myself from thinking like I have FLUDD. Like maybe it's just me. Like when I make a jump, I still just feel like I have FLUDD, so I'll be fine. But then I realize I don't. But it honestly feels more like just a design thing. And yeah, beyond the fact that spraying water has just like replaced like platforming, I don't really think the levels are much better either. It's weird. Like the levels look really interesting and they have like some kind of cool like platforming areas, but the majority of the missions in them don't really utilize them. Like, okay, let me just put it like this. For me, a 3D collectathon should tend to have these two things when it comes to making missions. They should, one, just be interesting missions on their own, but two, they should incorporate like some form of adventure and exploration as well as platforming. You know? I think an example of this would be in Mario 64, where, so I think it's on Tall Tall Mountain, there's the level where you have to find, like, the secret slide to go down. So, like, it's already an interesting mission. You have to find, like, a hidden spot, like, on the mountain and jump into it to get to this hidden slide area. Okay. But that also employs, exploration. You need to adventure around the level and look for it. But not just that, because the level is designed for platforming, it also involves platforming. Whereas in Sunshine, most of the shines just involve spraying goddamn motherfucking water. And it gets really tedious and boring at certain points. But there are the good aspects of the levels. I'm not going to say all the shines don't really involve adventure. One of the ones I really like is in the hotel level. I think it's called, like, the secret of whatever the name of the hotel was, something like that. Where, like, you need to go around, like, different rooms and, like, find, like, hidden passageways and stuff. And get, like, a Yoshi to, like, eat booze up in the attic so that you could, like, get into the pool room and get the shine in there because the piano won't let you through. I really like that mission. That's my favorite mission in the game. Because it's already an interesting concept for a mission, but it also employs exploration. You need to explore this level to make your way to the shine. And it makes it interesting. I like it. Another thing I like about the levels, especially in comparison to Mario 64, is that all of the levels... One of my complaints in Mario 64 was that the levels kind of break my immersion. Like, I'd be playing Whomp's Fortress and you can just look off to the side and it's just like an empty void. Whereas in this game, all the levels are actually connected. They all have one big cohesive theme, sort of. And, sometimes you can see other levels from one level. So, like, I think it's in, like, Pianta Village, you can see the beach level. Stuff like that. And it makes the game feel more immersive, It makes it feel more like a world, which I like. Although, admittedly, the game doesn't execute this in the best way because it ends up making some of the levels feel a bit too samey. Like, they all have this, like, they all end up feeling, like, kinda similar. Like, oh yeah, big, sunny, sort of beach, island, tropical theme. So, yeah. I think Odyssey personally did it better. Because, like, yeah, all those areas felt like a world, but they were all very different and varied. But it still felt like one big cohesive world because you were literally flying around the world, and each area had like its own individual kind of story and problem. But one thing they both do right is throughout the missions, there's kind of like stories throughout the world. Like usually in Sunshine, like so it'll start out with like one big problem, and then you'll solve that problem, and then you'll need to solve. Then you'll need to do another thing, and then another thing, and then another thing, and another thing, and then until eventually you beat Shadow Mario. You know, you do the Shadow Mario chase, you beat him, boom. And so, and usually like the optional 8th shine is typically just some sort of celebration of some sort. Which is why it's like an extra thing, which I like. One thing I really didn't like about the game are the bosses. Like, in Mario 64, I remember saying that all the bosses in that game were pretty easy, but at the same time, they still kind of remain fun. Sunshine has a similar thing going at first, but it kind of loses me when it makes you refight certain bosses. And some of them just aren't even really all that fun in the first place. I'm pretty sure you need to fight, like, the giant blooper guy, like, at least 3 times. You need to fight Petey Piranha twice, even though his second fight really isn't all that different. There are the kind of good ones. The Mecha Bowser thing was really cool, although aiming it was sort of annoying at points. The eel guy, he's kind of easy. Sort of easy to forget about your whole oxygen meter thing, which can be kind of annoying, but yeah, that guy's kind of fun. But yeah, the final Bowser fight is a joke. It is genuinely, like, laughably easy. Like, literally, you know how you avoid his fire when he breathes at you? You turn the other way! Now and then, my head starts to spin, but I'll never turn back again. Unless Bowser breathes fire in the left direction, in which I am forced to turn back. Jesus. But yeah, the final Bowser fight is honestly just a joke. Like, you dodge super easy to dodge attacks while you just freaking use, like, the big boost, like, super jump module thing on Flood. And, like, Ground Pound. It doesn't even really feel climactic or like a final boss, just because it's so laughably easy. But yeah, beyond that, that's Mario Sunshine. I know I might have been kind of harsh on this game, but I'm not one of the people who thinks it's the worst Mario game ever or anything. But at the same time, I'm not particularly fond of it. I think it's quite stupid to say this is the best 3D Mario game, because it feels more like a spin-off than anything, but at the same time, I can't say it's an all-bad spin-off. It has its moments, and I replayed it recently, and I had a mostly pleasant experience, in comparison to when I played it when I was like 8, and I freaking hated it. But yeah, anyway, that was Mario Sunshine, and I think I'll give this one a solid 7.5 out of 10. Next time, we will be looking at something that isn't a Mario game for once. Legend of Zelda, The Ocarina of Time. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you like my videos, leave a like. And if you want to see more, consider subscribing. See ya. And hopefully next time you see me, I won't still be trapped in the Shadow Realm again.